It's a 2014 Dmax, and we're just replacing the clutch today. First job, move the centre console. They are Phillips type headed screws, number 2s. There are 2 in the bottom of the glove box. There is 1 underneath the 4-wheel drive switch, which just prizes out and unclips from its wire. The front of the handbrake lever slot has a filler strip which prizes out, and at the front there are 2 of these plastic trim clips from which you unscrew the middle bit and then pop them out, and then you lift the whole thing out. And then you find there's a plug for the cigarette lighter socket, and you do have to have the handbrake lever raised as far as you can to get the thing out. Then we have to pull these air ducts out, remove the sound deadening felt, and undo the 10mm headed screws to release the gear lever gaiter. And then you remove the gear lever by undoing the 4 12mm headed screws. Go on. Right, don't lose the slider off the end. It is captive, but on some of them it might not be. And then the fun starts. We need to drop the oil out into nice clean buckets because we might be using it again. This sump guard needs to be removed. It's got 12mm headed screws, and then we undo the 2 sump plugs which have 24mm heads. Drop the oil out into those nice clean buckets. And then we put the sump plugs back in with new washers so that we don't have bits of oil dribbling out for the rest of the job. So then we jack the back end up and get it on axle stands, and first of all we're going to take the prop shaft off. The prop shaft centre bearing is held on with 17mm headed screws and 14mm headed nuts and bolts at the far end, and of course splined into the gearbox. When you pull the prop shaft out, be prepared to catch a mug full of oil. We've removed the front prop shaft, which was the usual 14mm headed nuts. Now I'm taking off the slave cylinder and the clutch damper, which is held on with 14mm and 10mm headed screws. Easy, just undo them and leave them hanging. The centre cross member comes off, but first you have to take off these 2 diagonal braces, all 17mm heads, and on this vehicle they're all very tight. The cross member's held in with 4 long 14mm headed screws with nuts on the ends. So we take one out of those out of either side to begin with. And then, having moved the prop shaft, we take the cross member off by removing the remaining 2 long bolts and let the gearbox hang, and then undo the prop shaft mount, which is held on with 12mm headed screws. Now we use a jack to take the weight, just so that we can undo the remaining cross member screws. Take the weight off the jack, drop the cross member and the gearbox down, let it hang on the engine mountings, and undo the 4 screws which hold the gearbox mount on so that we can get rid of the cross member. There is a harness with umpteen little plastic plugs, all which come out easily enough if you press the right little button on them. But the one that fits on the back of the transfer case has a white trigger thing that you pull out, and then when you put the plug back in you push it in. Bit of an awkward thing, but once you know how to do it, it's easy enough. There is a little reusable cable tie on top of the gearbox here with a little tag on it which you pull to one side to release. And now it's time to undo all the bell housing bolts. There are 10 of them. 2 which hold the starter motor on are longer than the others. The others are all the same size, but 2 on the right hand side of the vehicle have nuts behind them. All 17mm heads. So we'll undo them all before we put the jack under, apart from the 2 at the side. So the gearbox will still be held by the 2 sides. With a multiplicity of extensions, we can reach the 10 bell housing bolts. They're a bit awkward to get at. 2 of them have flange nuts on the other side, so we used an extra long 17mm spanner to get to them. Now this is a big heavy lump. It would do more than break your teeth if it fell on you. So we've got it supported on the transmission jack, which is probably a bit big for the job, but it's what we've got. So now we undo the 2 remaining bell housing bolts and slide the gearbox out of the way. Then the pressure plate is held on with 8 12mm headed screws. We just undo the things and then take both components away without dropping it on your face. We took the old clutch out, 12mm heads on the cover plate screws. It's got a good spigot bearing in the middle there, which measures correctly. It's 17mm ID bearing. Curious thing is, the pilot and the spigot shaft actually measures 15.65mm, so it's 1/3 of a millimetre smaller than the bearing. We don't understand this. We're trying to find a noise. We don't think we found it here, but if anybody knows what size that really should be, or has the means of measuring it, we'd be very interested to know. I'm just going to put the clutch bearing back on, which is held on with the usual spring clip. Right, I've got one of these old-fashioned clutch aligners in there, and as you can see there is a bit of waggle, so we've just fastened the friction plate on. We've just fastened the cover plate on with a couple of screws, finger tight, so I can get that as near what I think the middle is as is possible before we tighten the others up. Of the 10 bell housing bolts, which are M12 by 1.25, 8 of them are all the same and 2 of them are longer, that is the starter motor bolts. They can help you to align the bell housing up when you're putting the gearbox back on, but we find it easier to have a couple of extra long ones handy to just guide the thing on. Then we remove them and put the originals in. Now I've done a couple of Dmax clutches, and I've got to say one of them was the most difficult clutch I've ever had to put on. You can't turn the spline on the end of the transfer box, the output spline, because there's a cover. So we made a tool to do it, which was just a piece of tubing that fits over the spline with a slot cut in it and a little tooth welded on and a handle. That enabled us to turn the spline. As we did, we heard a click and the splines lined up and the gearbox went on. So that certainly helped us with one of these gearboxes. The other one went on quite easily, but there we are. Well, the prop shaft's off. It's a good time to attend to greasing the journals and the spline, and take note when you take it off which way around it goes, because both journals are the same, so you could mistakenly put it on back to front. Not that it probably matters. The rest of the reassembly is just a reversal. Make sure you put all the nuts and bolts in, and happy days. Good luck. Thank you for watching this video.